I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Greetings. Happy Thursday morning to you all. Hope you're all having a nice Wednesday. As far as me personally, we'll see. I have one bet left. I've already clinched a winning day, so it's going to be a winning day regardless. It could be an excellent day. I have one bet left, but that one bet is a plus 260 White Sox money line. So, yeah, we got a lead here in the 7th. It is the White Sox, so it isn't over until it says 3 outs in the 9th inning. But looking good. But if the White Sox lose, then I just barely made it to the green, like a 0.1 unit or something. So if the White Sox win, I had a great night. If they lose, I just barely made it into the green. Toast, you're having like a crazy one, aren't you? Like 5-0 or something?
Yeah. Well, I lost the Texas-Baltimore over, so I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-1 with Kansas City team total under 2.5 pending. So,
Hey, TV Jones, how was your night?
Not great.
Mizorowski got fucking crushed.
Congratulations. He's got to hit up a rookie. So impressive. Wow.
Now he's just a rookie.
Now he's just a rookie.
That's insane. No, I mean, whatever. Down like 1.5 units or something, but whatever. 2 weeks almost in the green.
Yeah, you were on a nice run there. So yeah, we got 11 games on the docket for tomorrow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 games. I've got like 4 or 5 bets open though. I don't know what it was. I found a bunch of things I like. So hopefully we'll have ourselves a good Thursday. And we're starting off with the Twins on the road in Miami, and I have a bet in this one. Toast, did you see what my bet is?
I didn't. I have a bet too. I haven't placed it. I'm close to it though.
I'm on the Twins first 5 at minus 105. I think the wrong team's favored here in the first 5. So, look, obviously Miami just recently won 8 games in a row. They lost today, which ended their winning streak. So no question that the Marlins have been playing some good baseball. But what I'm looking at specifically is this lineup isn't good at home. And that winning streak they were on was out on the road, right? They went out on the West Coast. They swept the Giants. And who was it before the Giants they swept? Was it Arizona?
Before the Giants, they swept San Francisco, Arizona, yes.
Arizona, right. So now they're back home where this lineup has not been good. So if you look over here, this is one of the worst home lineups in baseball all year, bottom 5 in the last 30 days. And even though they did take the first game of this series, they scored 2 runs. They scored 1 run today. So, yeah, they were on that nice winning streak there, but they came back home. And since then, they've played 2 baseball games. They've scored 3 combined runs. Not saying I trust David Festa or anything like that, but he hasn't been all that bad. And if you look at his game logs here, I mean, there are some good starts. Right here on the road to Detroit, this is a great start. Pitched well against Texas. Obviously got crushed by the Brewers. Didn't pitch well against the Reds. So, yeah, there's some shaky starts in here, but there's also a few solid ones in here as well. Look on the other side. I mean, have we seen Yuri Perez pitch a good game yet this year? What was Yuri Perez's best start? I mean, 4 innings, 1 run, 7 base runners against the Nats. So Yuri Perez is yet to show us he could be an effective pitcher right now. He hasn't pitched in 2 years. He just doesn't seem to have it right now. So to be in the first 5, I feel I have the better lineup and the better starting pitcher, and I got it at minus 105. The reason that I didn't take the full game, even though I would lean Twins full game, the reason I didn't take it is the Twins immediately fly home to play the Rays, which would be a more important series. They just used their 4 main bullpen arms tonight, so maybe there's a path where the Twins rest their main arms late in the game to be conservative to prepare for the next series. So I stuck to the first 5, minus 105. I bet it.
I was going to say over. ESPN was hanging a 7.5 there. For me, I know that this Twins offense has looked kind of dead in the water. obviously right after that Scooble game, and then they came here to Miami and they scored 2 runs in this whole series. But like Kyle said, Perez hasn't been very good, and the other thing is that he doesn't go deep into games at all. Even when he was healthy in 2023, he was only going 4 innings or 4, maybe 5 innings at max. I mean, in 5 innings, full 5 innings was asking a lot for him. So not that this Miami bullpen is super taxed or anything like that, but it's just not a unit that I trust. And I do think if the Twins bats break out, they're going to be capable of scoring 4 or 5 runs. And then on the other side, same type of deal with Festa. I don't really trust. I mean, he had a really good start on the road at Detroit, so be it. But his 2 previous starts on the road were not so great. And the same type of situation as Perez, he doesn't go very deep into games. And like Kyle mentioned, the Twins bullpen situation isn't terrible, but they did use all their main guys. Duran, Jax, Varland, Stewart all went yesterday. They had prior days off, so they'll be good to go if they have to. But I just felt like 7.5 was really low, and a place that we know that their runs can be scored in. And again, there hasn't been a whole bunch of runs scored the first couple games. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw both offenses score a couple tomorrow.
What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, it would be under. I think it's like, what do I see? I just saw this number, under 8.5, minus 125. Twins lineup hasn't been good lately. Yeah, they had a 10 spot against the Mariners like 4 games ago. But other than that, they're scoring like 2-3 runs. No runs. Miami at home hasn't looked good. They just haven't looked good. Festa, I think, will be fine. Yuri Perez, he struggles against lefties. There's going to be 3 or 4 in the lineup for Minnesota tomorrow, and it's also a lineup I don't really trust to dominate, and they're heading home after. So I think it's just going to be a lot of swing and miss, just get the fuck out of town type of shit. It would be under 8 for me, to be honest. I have no desire to play this game. Miami was 3 feet away from cashing that team total over and winning that damn game tonight on that fly out on that grand slam. But it is what it is.
Picks from the voice chat. Benji's on Marlins team total over. Gab's on Marlins team total over. Spoon's on the Marlins. That's me on the Twins first 5. A-Stead's on the Marlins first 5. Adam, first 3 over. I didn't hear Adam in there. He must have been in there early. Charles is on the over. Boba's on Festa. Over hits allowed. There's no number there, though, so I don't know what that's at, or what he got it at, or what he's telling. Jacob, for future reference, put the number in here. All right. Next game. Houston in Coors. What was the final score? 5-3 of that? 5-3?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to bet the Rockies here. I just really wish we were getting a better number. If there's one pitcher that exists in the history of the Rockies franchise since I started watching baseball that I would trust to pitch well at Coors Field, it is Kyle Freeland. He actually has a couple good seasons at home. I know he hasn't been all that great this year. I really don't have much to say, to be honest. I guess I would say Rockies are past, but I would be wanting like a plus 185, and that's not happening. So, Toast, anything here?
It would be the Rockies for me. I kind of want to take like plus 2.5 or something at like a 130 or whatever. But I mean, I agree with you. I think that the Rockies offense has been a little bit better than over their last like 10 games or that 10 or 11 games. And we give them credit for, they have scored runs. It's not like they've been absolutely like desolate, and it's the same thing goes for Houston. I mean, they've been winning games, but they're not scoring a whole bunch of runs either. So I think that both pitchers can pitch well. It's going to be Walter's first time pitching in Coors Field, so that gives, I guess, the Rockies a little bit of an advantage. So he's looked shaky at his start on the road at Anaheim, and then he was fine on the road in Cleveland, and in Tampa Bay, excuse me. So 2 really solid starts and 1 blow-up start, which is understandable for a young kid like this. So it would be Rockies or pass. I wish I could really get there. Maybe it gets bet up a little bit tomorrow or a place where we can bet it, but I wouldn't need like 180. I would want like 165, 170 or something like that. So it might creep up there. I don't know, but it's Rockies or pass for me.
What about TV Jones?
Yeah, honestly, I would play Houston team total over. Kyle Freeland hasn't been like incredibly sharp. I know he's better at home, but it hasn't really looked that way this year. And
what's
Houston
the price on that team total over?
Minus 105 over 6.5. Houston, they get to lefties. They can really hit them. I don't want to back Brandon Walter in any way, but I also don't want to back the Rockies offense. It's going to be 90 degrees, sun's out. Wind's kind of blowing in like 4 or 5 miles an hour tomorrow. Nothing serious, but I think the Astros can the Astros can really get to Freeland and score some runs here. So that's how I'd play it. Will I play it? Probably not. But Houston versus lefties, especially in Colorado, I don't hate that look at all.
That's a lot of runs, Trev.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a lot of
Good
runs.
thing they're in Colorado.
Let's go ahead and look at the voice chat picks. All right. Jacob's on Houston -1 or the under. Dodger Blue, right? He's on the under. Boba's on Walter to record a win. So not a ton of picks given out. Big out there, Burke. He got Kim to fly out. Otani's up, tying run at the plate. Here we go, Burke. 1 second. I guess I'll say Rockies. No, I'm not even going to put it up, honestly. I really want to bet the Rockies here, but all right. Next game is Tigers-Nats. Tough one. What do you think of Jake Irvin here, Toast?
You know, Jake Irvin's like an enigma to me. Like, it's just really hard to figure out when this guy is going to be good and when he's going to get blown up. I really want to play Detroit in some way. I think that their offense can really succeed against him, considering how bad he struggles with lefties. Almost a 5x whip versus lefties on the year, a 350 WOBA. The whip is actually pretty decent, but his home starts, I mean, against kind of lackluster offenses as well. Colorado, Colorado, the Cubs, in San Francisco lately. And I mean, he's been okay. He's been nothing great, but when he saw the Cubs, he gave up 8 hits and 3 runs in 5 innings. And I would equate this Detroit offense more like the Cubs than the other two for sure. And we've seen this Detroit offense hit well in the last couple of days and this whole time in this series in Washington. So their team totals 5.5. That's what gives me pause. It's just a big number to consistently hit or try to keep on betting. But Diedrich Eanes, he's one of these guys that he's been in the league for a while now. He's been up and down. I know he pitched all the way back in 2017 at times, so I don't really know what to expect from him. He had 1 start so far this year. He went 5 innings against the Athletics and didn't give up a run at home. So it would be Detroit or pass, I guess. I wish I could figure out what I could expect out of this Washington offense, because if you expect them to score, then I wouldn't hate an over here, but it's just really hard to trust this Washington team to score. So it would be Detroit or pass, emphasis on the pass.
Yeah, I just can't really find any reason to bet the Nats here. We know the Tigers' offense has been great. They've been great on the road. They've been great against right-handed pitching. There's no splits that point towards the Nats' favor here. If you look at the righty starters against the Tigers, they've gotten to basically every single one except David Festa for some reason. But take out Festa, and they're getting to every single righty starter they've seen. Actually, there's a couple down here in the Rays series, but Jake Irvin just really hasn't been that good.
No.
Look at his.
It's like he shows up randomly, it seems like, but
in his last 4 starts, 7.40 ERA, over almost a 58% hard hit rate. I mean, there's just no reason to.
Another thing about him, too, is that if you look, all of his starts are like 5-6 innings. It's not like he's going deep into games. So you kind of look at it at first and you're like, oh, 3 runs, that ain't that bad. But if it's always 5 runs in 3 or 5 innings and 3 runs, that's not good baseball.
No. Here's the thing. Detroit's got Cleveland on deck. They immediately fly out to Cleveland for a much more important series. Obviously, a division game against a division series starting against a team they could be competing with. That's a huge out, Burke.
Also, not to mention the fact that they just played a doubleheader. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a couple guys, especially guys like Kerry Carpenter and stuff like that, have a rest tomorrow, considering the fact that they're always hurt and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put the Nats up, but I'm not betting it. I need more than plus 135, but it is a little bit of a flat spot for the Tigers with Cleveland on deck. That's for sure. Meanwhile, the Nats have a series against Boston. It's another interleague series. They don't have to travel anywhere. So spot-wise, it's perfect to play the Nats. But I can't find any numbers to support a Nationals bet, honestly. TV Jones?
And really quickly, Kerry Carpenter's already on the injured list. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. Go ahead.
Detroit -1.5. Plus 100. I mean, Jake Irvin has not been good. You already went over it. Yes, he randomly shows up. So is tomorrow the day? Maybe. But, I mean, Detroit didn't use the bullpen tonight. I mean, they used Herter, Owens, and Smith. three guys, they threw a decent, and Holton, they used a decent amount, but they still got Vest, Canley, and company going. I think ends will be fine. -1.5 or nothing. I mean, they should be able to bust up Jake Irvin with or without their A squad out there. I know they got to go travel immediately, but I think they could still half-ass this and get it done. So I mean, it would be -1.5 or nothing. But I haven't gotten there to bet it yet personally. But I don't want any part of Washington tomorrow personally.
As far as the voice chat, everyone's on the Tigers. Spoon's on Tigers -1. Gab's on the Tigers team total over. Jacob's on Tigers -1. Steez is on Tigers team total over. So. Yeah, if I bet this one, which is probably a nay, but if I do, I would be on Nationals Island. Next up, Yankees, Blue Jays. I bet this one, and it's pathetic.
Sorry. I already know what you bet, but that's why
I hate it, man. So for those of you that aren't in the Discord, so I had Yankees today. It was one of my losses. It was a nice little Wednesday for me, but the Yankees was not one of the bright spots. I placed a bet on the Yankees live when they were down 7-0 at +1250. They came all the way back and tied at 9-9 just to blow it. Devin Williams gives up the lead on a wild pitch. I went right back to it because the Blue Jays bullpen is absolutely cooked. So yeah, I'm right back to the Yankees here. I'll show you the Blue Jays bullpen so you can see what I'm talking about.
Blue Jays bullpen been cooked though.
No, this is.
But now they're truly.
No,
cooked.
this is real bad. So here we go. I don't know if you're going to see Hoffman here. He's pitched 3 of the last 4. Yimi Garcia threw 34 pitches right off the IL. You're not going to see him. You're not going to see Rodriguez. You're not going to see Little. Here are the names you're going to see closing out the game: Fisher, Sandlin, Chad Green. So yeah, the bullpen's absolutely cooked. White Sox got out of it.
Will Smith sucks. That's why.
He hit a home run earlier in the game. I'm on the Yankees here. Toast.
Doesn't matter. Yankees team total over 4.5. One thing I will say, I was a little bit hesitant because Chris Bassett does have excellent numbers against this Yankees team. Over the last couple of years, he's been essentially dominant. Going back to 2023, in 2024 and 2023, excuse me, it was, I think, 26 innings, only 2 runs. The caveat to that is that they sparked him earlier this year. He got him for 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings, and not to mention that he really hasn't been that great, especially at home as well. The White Sox, he was decent against the White Sox and decent against Philly, but the Athletics got to him, Arizona got to him. He just gave up a whole bunch of runs to Boston as well. And like I keep saying, it's not the Yankees bats that I worry about; it's the pitching staff that I don't trust at all. So, obviously, Will Warren got absolutely blasted. I was on the team total over today. He got blasted, and obviously the Yankees came back, but I just don't want to deal with the pitching staff at all. Clark Schmidt has been really, really good. He also hasn't really pitched that much on the road, and his competition on the road has been lackluster, with the Royals, the Angels, and Colorado being his last 3 on the road. So just not a spot that I really want to trust him against this Blue Jays offense that's been clicking, but I do think the Yankees score runs, and they have the full 9 at-bats.
TV Jones?
Yeah, Blue Jays money line. I don't give a shit what that bullpen looks like. The Yankees are trash right now. The Skankies they fucking suck. They're in a slump right now. Yes, their bats are hitting, but Toe said it, the pitching staff is just fucking god awful. Granted, you're not going to see Devin Williams to come in and just inevitably blow the game tomorrow, but I still like Toronto's bats more than the Yankees right now. And Clark Schmidt, I think, some people are expecting him to bounce back after a bad one, but I don't know. Like, going up to Toronto is a tough spot, and this is the take lead of the division here. So I think Toronto's a little motivated tomorrow, especially at home, to knock down the Skankies and get it done here. So give me Toronto money line.
Next. Voice chat picks for this one. Let's see what the gang took. Jacob's on the Yankees. Spoon's on the Yankees. Charles is on Bassett over outs. Probably because of the thin bullpen. They'll stretch him. Gab's on Yankees team total over as well. Next game is Brewers Mets. I'll go first because it's pretty simple. I don't think you're going to be able to get this number in the morning. I saw it, and I was like, this is going to close at a flat. What happened?
Royals team total under cash 2.5.
So yeah, I just don't think you're going to be able to get this 8.5 in the morning. So I took the under. It's Citi Field. We know not a run-scoring ballpark. It's cooled down a little bit here in the Northeast. Not quite as hot as it was a few days ago. Still on the hot side. But But yeah, not a run-scoring ballpark. You got two pitchers that I trust, two lineups that are better against righties. In fact, the Mets have been terrible against lefties, like real bad. Let me show you this. This is actually a little bit alarming. Mets against left-handed pitching, dead last in the last 30 days. Worst lineup in baseball against lefties. If you look at the left-handed starters that they've seen, sorry, I'm watching this White Sox game at the same time. So they didn't get to Luzardo and Chris Sale, Mackenzie Gore, so you can cut them a little bit of slack. Those are three of the best lefties in the game. Before that, they got to Kershaw, Palmquist. So maybe the Mets numbers against lefties aren't quite as bad as maybe the Mets aren't quite as bad against lefties as the numbers indicate. But I don't trust the Mets to score a bunch of runs here at home. Trust both starting pitchers. Both teams have both their full bullpens available. Yeah, I think it closes as an 8. So I took an 8.5.
Same type of situation. I just played first 5 under 4.5. I saw plus 100 over there. I wanted to take advantage of that. Peterson, I think we're getting this number because obviously Peterson hasn't really been great his last 3 starts. The caveat to that is all those starts have been on the road. His last 3 starts at home, albeit lackluster offenses in Washington, Colorado, and the Dodgers. I mean, he went 9 innings scoreless against Washington. He went 5 2/3, 1 run against Colorado, and he went 7 2/3, 2 runs against the Dodgers. So I think this is a really good spot for him to bounce back. He also had a lot of success against Milwaukee last year as well. He went on the road to Milwaukee, went 7 innings, didn't give up a run, and struck out 8 guys. And then Kyle mentioned it about Quintana and the Mets lineup. The Mets lineup isn't really killing the ball right now. I know that Soto's been on a little bit of a tear. I know obviously they had to put Mizorowski into his place today, which was well deserved for him. But after all the talk that Trevor's been talking, but I mean, if you look at the Mets versus left-handed starters, a couple of them are really big names, like Sauce mentioned, like Luzardo and Sale and Gore. But there's a lot of guys that aren't really good, like Kershaw, Palmquist, Freeland, Bailey Falter as well. So as long as Quintana just doesn't get absolutely blown up, which I don't think he will, I think that this game stays under 4.5 in the first 5. So yeah, at plus 100, I moved on it already.
Yeah, and specifically, David Peterson has been really good in this ballpark. His last home start was a complete game shutout. Before that, just 1 run, pitched 5 2/3. Before that, 7 2/3, 2 runs against the Dodgers. He almost went 8 full innings against the Dodgers. Before that, 6 innings, 2 runs. So David Peterson has been very, very good in his home starts. In his last 6 home starts, he's got a 1.86 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, 3.13 xFIP, and a 35.7% chase rate. So yeah, I trust David Peterson to pitch well. I honestly think Quintana pitches well also, though. In Citi Field against his old team, I think he pitches well. So yeah, under. TV Jones.
Brewers money line. Quintana versus former team here. I think he's coming out with some revenge. He pitched damn good for them last year, and they didn't re-sign him. Didn't give him an offer. Maybe they gave him an offer. I don't know, but they never brought him back. Now he's in Milwaukee. He gets a chance to go against his former team, and the Brewers versus lefties right now. They're smoking them. Freeland 6 in Milwaukee. Haney, they got 7. Colombe start 1 inning start. Chris Sale, yes, they didn't get him. 7 innings, 1 hit. But Abbott, they took him for 5. Suarez, they got 2. Luzardo, they got 12. Crochet, they got 2. Falter, they got 3. They've been hitting lefties. Obviously, weather is not great here tomorrow. It's going to be kind of blowing out to 10 miles an hour with some rain, so that does hurt. I like the under, but Milwaukee's been hitting lefties no problem. And, if Mizorowski doesn't try to grab that ball coming up the middle, it doesn't get tipped, and they get out of that inning, take away 4 runs from the Mets. It's a completely different game. So not to worry. Or take away 5 because Lindor hit a home run after. So
we're not taking away anything, bro. Your boy got
I'm just saying that was an inch away from Brewers winning both games today. You guys just happened to get lucky that Mizorowski tried to make a play, and at 6-7, it was just a hair over his glove, and he tipped it. Minus that, Brewers won that game too. I think they come out pissed off, ready to play tomorrow. Quintana versus former team, give it to me. Plus 132 is I got plus 141 actually, but that's just an incredibly disrespectful number with a Milwaukee team. And congratulations on the Mets for finally winning a game again. Throwing parties and parades in New York for that, but it ends tomorrow. Brewers are going to get this done, no problem.
By the way,
Snakes have tied the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Diamondbacks tied at 5-5. What are the bullpen situation in that? We'll talk about it in a couple of games when we get there. Might be a blind over. If both teams are about to cook their pens up, we might go blind over in that one.
I've already bet an over in that game, but it's not just an over.
What the hell does that mean? Oh,
Okay,
I know what it is already. You like have it out for this one pitcher. So I have 2 bets in this game, but not. I split my unit in half and put a half unit on each. So I'll go ahead and get them up on the screen.
Team total and money line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very simple. Bryce Elder has turned back into a pumpkin, and it's a disgusting pumpkin. He's been so bad. He's looking like the Bryce Elder we used to love to fade over the years. I'll pull up his last 3 game logs. It's been ugly. But not in addition to just Bryce Elder turning back into a pumpkin, the Angels have been a lineup we could trust ever since the managerial change. Ron Washington, they changed over to the new manager, and I mean, in the last 2 weeks, this is one of the best lineups in baseball against righties. They're a top 5 lineup overall. Look at Bryce Elder. His last time out, 2 innings. That's 6 outs, guys. 12 base runners and 9 runs. Before that against the Marlins, 11 base runners and 5 runs. Before that against the Rockies, at home in Atlanta. This was not in Coors Field. 10 base runners and 4 runs. Didn't even make it through 4. So Bryce Elder, whatever he found earlier in the season, it's gone. And if it was another pitcher, I'd say, guys, it's only 3 starts. Let's not overreact. But this is a guy that Bryce Elder's been a fade for a couple of years now.
We know.
Yeah, so I don't see any reason that the Angels don't score runs here. Also, because the Braves won so comfortably, Angels were able to rest their entire bullpen. A bullpen that's been sneaky good, by the way. So the Angels have their bullpen rested. I took the this says plus 119. I got plus 120 because we have the starting pitching advantage, a rested bullpen. But to protect myself from Jose Soriano getting smacked, I split it in half and also took the team total over. Toast?
Yeah, I can't really add much to that. I'm on the Angels as well.
Money line or team total?
Money line, excuse me. The Angels are going to have Jansen and Detmers back and ready to go, which is really huge for me. And then as far as Soriano getting sparked up, I mean, are we really impressed by this Braves offense scoring 3 runs against Paul Blackburn, Sandy Alcantara, Yuri Perez, Paul Blackburn again, and Clay Holmes? Like, because those are the guys that they've been scoring runs off of. I mean, I'm at a point where this Atlanta team where it's kind of one of those, they're feast or famine. I mean, I know they put up a whole bunch of runs tonight, but I mean, it's really not a team that really scares me at the plate. And Soriano has been pretty damn good. And he's coming off of a start where he got absolutely tattooed. The last time he got tattooed was by Boston. The next time, 2 times out, he went 14 total innings and gave up 1 run against the Yankees in Oakland. So I expect him to bounce back against the Atlanta offense. I don't trust it all. Profar went deep today. I mean, lucky for you guys. I mean, I think this is a great spot to bet the Angels tomorrow. What
about you, TV Jones?
Yep, Angels money line and the over with me. Team total over for me too. Bryce Elder's been absolute trash. Angels, they've been hot offensively today. They didn't look great. You know, Kikuchi leaves, all of a sudden the bullpen blows it. But I don't have any faith in Elder or this offense. Or the Braves offense. If the Braves show back up again, cool. Maybe they're starting to kind of figure things out a little bit, getting Profar worked back in there. But prove it to me. Angels been hot, especially on the road. Now you're going to get Bryce Elder. Just no faith. It's just an easy over and Angels money line for me. Again, they got smacked today too, so that bullpen is going to be fine. So I have no fear with them coming in, and I think the Angels are going to get some runs for sure. Weather-wise, actually, I never looked at the weather for this one. It's going to be 90 degrees, 87 degrees, wind blowing out to dead center, about 5.5 miles an hour. So
which is
should be pretty decent hitting weather.
The weather is part of the reason I was a little hesitant on the Angels money line because I don't think it's crazy that Soriano gets hit up.
He's a ground ball guy.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean you can't hit fly balls off him.
Oh, no. Sure.
Doesn't mean every ball off the bat is a ground ball.
He also gives up a lot of hard hit balls. So if they don't go into the ground, they go a long way.
I ain't worried. Prove it to me, Braves offense, so you can actually do something consistent.
I agree. I'm just saying that Soriano can get hit it.
Gem tomorrow.
And he also has control issues.
Guards Cubs. That under would have hit. Oh no, it would have pushed at that 9. That was crazy. When we did the show last night, the total was 9. It dropped to 7.5 immediately after the show.
Dude, that was weird.
I don't know. I think when we were doing the show, it was only open on a couple of sports books, some of the softer books, and out of nowhere it was 7.5 across the board. It would have pushed that under. You guys, Toast got your Cubs bet. What do you think of this one, Toast?
I actually think could be a sneaky spot to bet the Cards. Or I'm sorry, to bet Cleveland, excuse me. I think that Cleveland had a little bit of life today early with the home runs and stuff. But again, it was another lefty, and now they finally see a righty, which again, if you look at their game logs, it's nothing fantastic. They got to Michaelis, they got to Scherzer, they got to Mitch Spence, but Sonny Gray and Gausman pitched 9 and 8 innings of scoreless baseball against them. But besides that, they've been pretty decent. Logan Webb pitched a gem against them as well. But when they've seen lackluster righties, they've been somewhat feasible. Nothing special, but feasible. And I think that it's possible for them to break out against Cade Horton so far. I mean, Cade Horton really hasn't faced any any great competition either. Houston, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Washington, Colorado, Miami. Detroit's the only team that I really trust in that lineup of teams that I just mentioned. And he didn't look good in that start. Again, I get that Cleveland's offense isn't great, but sooner or later, I do think they're going to score some runs. And then as far as Ortiz goes, I do think that he's a little bit undervalued right now. I know that he's had a couple bad starts here and there, but at the same time, I mean, on the road in Oakland, he pitched well. He got hit up in Seattle. He looked really good against the Yankees. He was decent against Detroit. He gave up 3 runs in 5 innings, but he was pretty good in Cincinnati on the road. And then he got hit up in Washington on the road. So my point being is that if he's just somewhat decent and Cleveland has a full rested bullpen behind him, he really only struggles versus lefty bats. So it's going to be the top of that order that you, that you worry about, Happ, Tucker, and Pete Crow Armstrong. But if he can get through them, I think he's going to have some success. And with that bullpen behind him, I think everybody's going to bet the Cubs up tomorrow. And I think I'm going to take a stab with Cleveland to fade the world. So I've got my Cubs money the first 2 days. I think I'm going to play Cleveland tomorrow.
The problem is, Horton doesn't have significant splits against lefties, which is something I want to see if I'm going to back Cleveland. Cleveland has not been hitting it all, like you said. If I'm going to jump on the guards to snap out of this, I'm going to need a pitcher that struggles against lefties, and that's not really Horton.
Also, sorry, I forgot to say, Cubs won't have their top 2 arms in their bullpen, Palencia and Keller, back-to-back nights.
Okay, and that is something to talk about, the Cubs bullpen. Top 2 arms missing, and the Cubs have a series against the Cardinals starting tomorrow, which is much more important than a series against Cleveland where they've already taken the first 2. So a little bit of a flat spot for the Cubs with the Cards coming to town on deck. That being said, Cleveland immediately flies home to see Detroit. So they're in the same situation, but Cleveland's arms are rested. So the Guardians can afford to use their main bullpen arms here without really jeopardizing the start of that series against Detroit, where that is not really the case with the Cubs. You're not going to see Palencia or Brad Keller. Here, I'll pull it up on the screen. To close it out for the Cubs, I mean, you're going to have Porter Hodge, Ryan Presley, Thielbar, and Presley and Thielbar both pitched as well. So if they use them, these guys probably won't be available. So I'm kind of grasping at straws here. I don't hate the Cleveland idea. What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, Guardians versus righty on paper has been pretty, but it's lefties they really struggle with. You're going to get them against Cade Horton, who has not been sharp. I mean, his last 3, on the road, whatever. He's given up 7, 3, 0, 4, 1, and 2 on his last 6, and he's given up 3 home runs in that stretch. He's walking guys. He's not striking guys out. I think Cleveland is going to be able to get this one done, and it's going to be 82 degrees, winds blowing in like 5 miles an hour. It's nothing serious. It's not like some crazy Wrigley wind. I think they'll be fine. And then Toe said it, the 2 bullpen arms that matter most went tonight. So who knows if they'll be there tomorrow? More than likely, probably not. So I think Cleveland's got a better chance than anything. Ortiz hasn't been pretty either. If I had to pick a total, it would be over. I think both pitchers get hit up. I think both offenses will be fine. But Cleveland at plus 130 and Cade Horton laying minus 160 right now is just kind of asinine. So give me Cleveland in the over in this one.
The only thing Cleveland at 135, I haven't bet it yet. The only thing that's holding me off is that I don't know if we're going to get a better number or not, because I bet the Cubs today and it really only moved like 10 cents or so, nothing crazy. So not like I thought it would. So I'm kind of curious to see where this kind of goes in the next couple hours. Anyway,
I guess I would say over or pass. I don't know. I hear what you guys are saying on Cleveland. I just, on the road in Wrigley, Cleveland's been, the Cubs have been significantly the better team. So with Ortiz on the mound in Wrigley, I want like plus 150 there. Plus 135 seems super thin. I don't know. It's not. I don't hate the pick. I just can't personally. I like the Nats as a dog better than Cleveland here. So I'll say over or pass, but I will not be betting it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Giants, snakes in the desert.
You can go first.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at the arms, and it's nothing serious here. The Giants in a little bit more of a situation than Arizona is, because we're going to extras, and we're actually in extras, and let's see who's been used. So the Giants used everybody in their pen. Eric Miller, Bivens, Rodriguez, Rogers, Duvall. Every single person is pitched for the Giants in this game. That being said, this sheet isn't updated, by the way, guys. So I don't have the actual numbers, but it's going to look something like this. Like that. So they all pitched. These aren't the exact numbers. I just estimated. None of them really threw a crazy amount of pitches. This is something what it's going to look like. And these guys all had Tuesday off. So I think every single one of these arms is going to be available for the Giants in this one.
Yeah, Miller only pitched 5. Yeah.
So despite this extra inning game where the Giants are using all their arms, there's really no value to holster out of it. Toast, are you on your Giants team total over?
I paid some juice for it. Giants team total over 3.5 minus 145. Not that this Snakes bullpen is great in the first place, but Shelby Miller did go tonight, so he'll be 2 of the last 3. That Backus kid went tonight. Nothing. Not that he won't be available or anything like that, but again, the main arms, or the good arms in that bullpen went today. And then we also have our boy Brandon Pfaadt on the mound, who, congratulations, you looked somewhat decent against Miami, which I know that they were playing well, so I got to give him some credit. He did pitch well in that game, but he still gave up 2 runs over 5 innings. He got sparked against Colorado, looked somewhat decent against Toronto and Seattle at home, and before that he was absolutely getting tattooed. So if he's back, maybe so be it, but the thing about Brandon Pfaadt that we have to all take into consideration is that he might be a long lost child of the San Francisco Giants, because the Giants have seen him 2 times the last year and a half, and it's been 6 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs. He's walked 5 guys. It really hasn't been pretty. Again, I just don't think that Brandon Pfaadt's very good. I think he's looked decent over some lackluster competition. I will give you that the Giants' offense isn't anything special, but they've gotten to him before. Arizona's bullpen is compromised. We're going to have a full 9 at-bats to score 4 runs in the desert. I already bet this.
The Giants absolutely smoked Brandon Pfaadt on May 13th. 9 base runners, 4 earned runs. He only made it 4 innings in the game. So they did not have problems getting to him early in the season. At a 3.5, I got to say I don't hate it. You did pay for it, though, minus 145. What does TV Jones think?
Yeah. So you're getting Brandon Pfaadt, perceived absolute dog shit. Robbie Ray, damn good. And it's a pick'em. Nah, give me the Snakes. They're gonna get this one done. They're gonna get it done tonight, and then they're gonna get it done tomorrow too. And not to mention the Snakes versus lefties, only 118 plate appearances last 3 weeks, but they got a 157 WRC plus, a 252 ISO, and a 939 OPS. They've been hitting lefties. Robbie Ray started to look a little bit more human as of late too, and nobody wants to back Brandon Pfaadt, and you're getting a Giants team total that's 3.5. They can't fucking hit. They hit one time, and that was tonight. And they still blew this game potentially. So I'm going to go Snakes again tomorrow. I pick 'em price with Pfaadt versus Ray. That's just kind of little suspect right there. So give me the Snakes. They're going to get this done tomorrow at home.
Well, I feel like Pfaadt is always overpriced. He's like
Yeah,
still
I don't
perceived
know.
to be
He's
this
been
like dynamite
bad.
playoff pitcher, and like I think we can all agree. How does I?
And you
I'll
can
just
also say he's been bad. He's got an 8-5 record too, so he gets run support.
I'm gonna say overpass on this one. When we were first talking about this one in the voice chat, we were kind of anticipating some bullpen issues on either side, and we're not getting that. So the bullpens are going to be fine. Stay fair.
Well, we don't know that. I mean, Arizona could still tie the game here. They got a man on third with one out.
No,
I mean,
but the Giants used all their arms, and they're going to be available again, so it doesn't matter. So I'll say overpass. Oh, speaking of voice chat, I fell a couple of games behind here. So let's get caught up on the voice chat. The last one was Yankees Blue Jays. In Mets Brewers, Spoon's on the Brewers. Steez is on the Brewers. Charles is on first 5 under. Jacob's on first 5 under and full game under. Angels Braves. Yeah, everyone's on Angels or over there. We kind of all agreed on that one. Cleveland Cubs, we just talked about this one. Charles is on the Guards. That's right. He likes the Guards. So Charles is with you, Toast. Steez is on the Cubs. Spoon's on the Cubs. Jacob's on the Cubs or over. Steez is also on Cubs, team total over. In this game, Charles is on the over 8. Steez is on the over 8. Jacob's on Giants first 5 money line. All right. Let's move on to the next one, which is Royals Mariners. Toast, this is for people, for Brian Wu apologists, this is the spot you look for. What do you look for in Brian Wu? Number 1, you want him to be at home in Seattle. Number 2, you want him pitching against righty bats. Check. At home in Seattle against a bunch of righties in the Royals lineup. So on paper, this is how you draw it up for Brian Wu. This is the exact type of matchup you want for him. Does he deal here against Kansas City?
Yeah. I don't see any reason not to think that. I mean, I know that can kind of give Kansas City a bump when they're on the road, but they've been kind of lackluster recently. I don't know, man. This one's kind of hard for me. I think that Lugo could deal. I guess you can put me down for under 7.5 if I had to make a bet. I think Brash might not be available because he's going to go 2 of the last 3, but Munoz went tonight, but he had the prior 3 days off. So all the Seattle guys are good to go in their bullpen. I don't think that there's anything crazy with Kansas City. Actually, now let me check before I say that. But as long as Kansas City is not nothing crazy, it would be under, I guess. Part of me really just wants to bet Kansas City just because I know that their offense can wake up at any time on the road, but I don't know. I just don't really have the balls to do it, but yeah, it would be under a pass.
Why not go right back to the same bet that just cashed for you? The Royals to stay under 2.5 again.
Touche. Because it got really dicey lately, and actually it's 3.5, 145. What?
You know what? I'd like to see what arms the Mariners used tonight to close this game out.
I can tell you right now, they used Spury, yes, Brash, and Munoz. I know that's not how you say his name.
It's Spire, apparently. Munoz was rested. He's good. How many pitches did Brash throw?
Brash pitches. 21.
Hold on. So you said Brash threw 21 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
How many did Munoz throw?
15. Vargas for 19.
And Spire.
16.
I mean, maybe no Brash.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and Brash gave up a run tonight. So, yeah, nothing crazy. Under 7.5. Man, now that
Seattle or pass for me, it's just too expensive. But I think I probably would have this one at like minus 170. So theoretically, minus 150, 155 is a decent bet. What do you think, TV Jones?
That under 3.5, 145 is staring at me in the face. Because if the Mariners win, Kansas City's not scoring 4.
Yeah, I can't find the props for this, but it would be a Rosarena hit with Seattle money line. Knock that down. A Rosarena's been nuclear lately. I think it's like 4 home runs the last 3 games, something like that. He's been going like bonkers, and Royals can't hit. Like, yes, they're on the road, but they're still just trash. Like, this whole team
plus
is
160
trash.
sauce.
That's plus 160.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! All right, yeah.
I mean, Seattle's only 155. I mean, him to get a hit's minus 165. I mean, Lugo's been really
he's only
good.
minus 165. I know Lugo's been better versus righties, but still, that bullpen is going to come. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Rosarena has just been going next level right now. So I don't trust Kansas City. Yes, they can wake up at any time in the road, but I think Woo's going to be fine. Kansas City's just god awful, and Seattle's been fine lately. They're hitting, they're scoring, their pitchings look good for the most part. As of late, minus a little flare up here or there. But if Kansas City comes in and just beats the shit out of Woo and they can't get to Seth Lugo, so be it. But I like this thing. All we need is a Rosarena hit, and I think if the Mariners score 3 runs, I think we're looking all right. So that's how I would play this game personally.
Next, the last game on the board, which is the team I'm sweating right now, the White Sox. White Sox Dodgers against Dustin May. Savale is on the bump for the White Sox. Is there any reason Savale could pitch a good game here, Toast? Burke pitched pretty well.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's not like Savali's been a complete gas can. Now, take into consideration he's faced the Giants, the Blue Jays. He got destroyed by the Blue Jays, by the way. Texas, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Boston, Pittsburgh, and the Yankees got destroyed by the Yankees. So Yankees and Toronto can hit. Everybody else on that list really can't most of the time. So now he's facing a Dodgers team that can hit, that is about to take a loss on the same.
A lot of game left.
Hopefully takes a loss on the night that Clayton Kershaw hits 3,000 strikeouts. Over 9 for me.
Oh, is that what they were cheering for?
Yeah.
I was wondering, the crowd was going nuts. I was like, what the hell are you guys doing?
They had to leave him in for 100 pitches for his one ass to strike out 3 White Sox.
I was watching it on without sound, and they kept showing they had like a standing ovation. I'm like, guys, you're losing. I didn't understand.
The only thing that's holding me back is that the White Sox versus righties it's the lefties that they usually have a lot of success against. The righty starters they have not against. They've seen Verlander, Rupp, Gallen, Nelson, Bassett, Barrios. Haven't done anything besides to our boy Zach Gallen. But that being said, Dustin May just can't figure it out, man. I mean, had a decent start against the Mets, but besides that, I mean, it's really nothing special. He goes 5 or 6 innings, but he gives 2 or 3 runs up almost every time he goes out there. So as long as the White Sox don't get blanked and they put up a couple runs, I think the Dodgers do the heavy lifting. It would only be over a pass for me, but I don't think I'm actually going to bet it.
I honestly think Dustin May might pitch well here. It would only be Dodgers in some capacity. So Dodgers or pass. I don't know. TV Jones.
Over Dustin May and Savale. Dodgers offense looks bad tonight. I think they bounce back tomorrow against Savale, no problem. And Dustin May couldn't keep down a AAA lineup. So, yes, I know it's the White Sox at the end of the day, but if the White Sox get 3 or 4, I think this goes over. So, over 9 for me. No faith in Dustin May whatsoever, let alone laying minus 300 with his sorry ass. So. And I want nothing to do with Savale even taking a stab on that. So it would be over nothing. I think the White Sox can get runs. I think the Dodgers offense pop back up tomorrow, and it's going to be wind blowing out 7 miles an hour. Granted, it's only going to be 70 degrees, but I'm just going to ride this again. If all 3 games in this series go under, so be it.
So be it.
There's an 8.5 on ESPN. I might take that. Anyway.
So, all right. If you signed up for text message alerts and didn't get any in the last 24 hours, reach out to me with an email or message. I know Sean said he didn't get any. They've been working. And as far as I know, everyone's getting them. So if you signed up for the text message alerts and didn't get them in the last day or so, reach out to me in the website live chat or email me, because that means you must have typed in your number wrong, or maybe I typed in your number wrong. Something's not functioning. Betting league stuff. Give me about 20 minutes. I'll have the standings up. Oh, wow. I took White Sox first 5 and full game in the betting league. Woo, I forgot about that. I might make a jump up to first place today. Yeah, I'll be up for a while working on some stuff, so hit me up in the Discord if you need me. Let's have ourselves a good one. Remember to bet responsibly. Enjoy your Thursdays.